What if I told you that one car didn't just move people, but literally turned a continent from endless farmland into a sprawling network of freeways? Or that another quietly made hybrid technology a household concept long before anyone could even spell Prius? And what about a third, so exquisitely beautiful, it made even the famously stoic boss of Ferrari tip his hat in grudging admiration? Tonight, we're not simply tallying up shiny pieces of metal. Oh no. We're diving deep into the stories of 10 incredible machines that didn't just rewrite the rules of the road. They often invented them from scratch. Get ready, because this isn't just a list. It's a journey through automotive history, one gear shift at a time. Imagine hitting 135 miles an hour back in 1912. That kind of speed would have been an absolute blur, probably trying to rip your face off with the sheer force of the wind, yet the automotive marvel you'll discover at number 9 achieved it with an elegance that truly resembled a Renaissance sculpture on wheels. It wasn't just fast, it was poetry in motion, defying expectations and setting new standards. But don't you dare click away, because the absolute single most important car ever built, the one that truly changed everything, is probably lurking somewhere in your mental blind spot, waiting to be rediscovered. Trust me, you'll want to stay until the very end for that reveal. 10. Land Rover Defender, 1948. Let's kick things off with the world's first truly go-anywhere toolbox on wheels, the Land Rover Defender. Its origin story is wonderfully simple, almost primitive. Sketch a rectangle, bolt on a canvas roof, drop in a tractor engine, and boom, you've got yourself a legend. This wasn't about luxury or speed. It was about pure, unadulterated utility. British farmers desperately needed something that could conquer a freshly plowed, muddy field at the crack of dawn, then hose off and still reliably get the family to church by 10 o'clock. And for an astonishing 68 straight years, the Defender did exactly that without complaint. There were no airbags, no fancy climate control systems, certainly no touchscreens. Just honest-to-goodness rivets, a sturdy chassis, and an almost unbreakable confidence. It was a vehicle that wasn't afraid to get dirty, because that's what it was built for. Think about its incredible resume. It pulled countless sheep trailers through impossible terrain, carried UN peacekeepers across war-torn landscapes, and famously, and somewhat ridiculously, once crossed the treacherous Darien Gap with nothing more than a machete taped to the bulkhead for emergencies. When production finally ceased in 2016, after decades of loyal service, buyers weren't crying because it was suddenly outdated or lacked modern comforts. They cried because this iconic machine never lied about what it was, an utterly reliable, supremely capable hammer you could drive anywhere, anytime. Its legacy isn't just about moving people. It's about enabling expeditions, supporting livelihoods, and defining an entire category of rugged, dependable vehicles that truly made history. 9. Jaguar E-Type, 1961. Next up, a car so stunning it made the notoriously tight-lipped Enzo Ferrari allegedly declare it the most beautiful car ever made. And let me tell you, Enzo Ferrari hated giving compliments the way most cats hate water. It just wasn't in his nature. Yet, the Jaguar E-Type broke through that stoic facade. This wasn't just a pretty face, though. Under that impossibly long sculpted bonnet sat a magnificent 3.8-liter straight-six engine, a masterpiece of British engineering that could effortlessly push the car to a staggering 150 millimeters. And here's the kicker. It did all this for a price point that rivaled a mid-tier Porsche, not the stratospheric cost of a Ferrari. Suddenly, every aspiring banker, every member of the Beatles, and every suave Bond villain worth their salt absolutely had to have one. The E-Type didn't just look fast, it completely redefined the speed per dollar equation, making high-performance glamour accessible like a clearance sale on physics. It was packed with futuristic features for its time. Sleek pop-up headlights, a fully independent rear suspension that offered incredible handling, and a cockpit-like dashboard shaped like a fighter jet cocoon. This car was more than just transportation. It was 1960s space race optimism distilled into two luxurious seats and a perfectly weighted wood-rimmed steering wheel. It wasn't just a car. It was a statement, a revolution in design and performance that continues to captivate enthusiasts to this day, proving that true beauty and blistering speed can indeed coexist. Bay 8. Chevrolet Corvette Stingray, 1963. America's roaring answer to all that European automotive snobbery arrived in 1963, and it came with a name that sounded like a sleek, dangerous sea creature packing some serious heat. The Chevrolet Corvette Stingray. With its revolutionary hidden headlights, it looked like nothing else on the road. Now, the legendary split rear window version, an iconic design choice, only lasted for a single model year. Why? Because, hilariously, drivers complained they simply couldn't see a thing backing out of their driveways. But you know what? That perceived flaw didn't diminish its legend. It only amplified the mystique, turning a practical oversight into an instant collector's item. Beneath that gorgeous, sculpted fiberglass bodywork, a beast truly lurked. A potent 327 V8 engine that could order a set of rear tires to self-destruct faster than you could even whisper, 4-barrel carburetor. But don't mistake it for just brute force. This wasn't merely muscle. This was muscle that had clearly taken some industrial design night classes. It was raw power wrapped in an artistic, purposeful package. Every single boy in 1963 probably had a poster of that car taped to their bedroom wall, dreaming of open roads and roaring engines. And every dad, seeing his son's longing gaze, suddenly found himself needing a practical family car. That, purely by coincidence, happened to have dual exhausts and a thundering V8. The Stingray wasn't just a car. It was a cultural phenomenon, a definitive symbol of American automotive prowess, and a bold statement that still resonates today. Number 7. Audi Quattro, 1980. For years, rally fans would gather, mesmerized, watching cars slide sideways in magnificent clouds of dust, battling for grip on treacherous surfaces. Then, the Audi Quattro exploded onto the scene, and it didn't just slide, it simply catapulted from apex to apex, hugging the track with an almost unfair advantage, as if it were riding on invisible train tracks. This wasn't magic, it was genius. By boldly bolting a revolutionary center differential to a potent turbocharged 5-cylinder engine, Audi didn't just improve traction. They transformed it from a polite suggestion into a mathematical certainty. The results were immediate and utterly devastating for the competition. 4 consecutive World Rally Championships, a reign of dominance that fundamentally reshaped motorsport. The Quattro proved unequivocally that all-wheel drive wasn't just for off-roaders. It was a performance enhancer of the highest order. Its success forced every other sports sedan manufacturer to play catch-up, begging for all-wheel drive systems of their own. But its impact wasn't confined to the rally stages. On Monday morning, commuters across the globe unknowingly benefited too. Every modern Subaru, every Golf R, every Mitsubishi Evo, you can trace their DNA, their very essence of grip and control, directly back to this boxy, unapologetically functional coupe that looked, perhaps, like a filing cabinet with an incredible attitude. The Audi Quattro didn't just win races, it redefined what was possible on the road, leaving an indelible mark on automotive engineering that we still feel every day. Number 6. Toyota Prius, 1997. The first time you laid eyes on a Toyota Prius, you probably chuckled. Let's be honest. Those slightly awkward eco-capsule wheels, the almost unnerving silent creep in parking lots that made it sound like a haunted golf cart. It was a bit of a novelty, right? Then, something shifted. Gas prices started doing their best impression of a SpaceX launch, rocketing skyward with alarming regularity. And suddenly, nobody was laughing anymore. The Prius, almost overnight, morphed from a quirky experiment into a mainstream necessity. It made hybrid technology not just acceptable, but desirable, long before climate change became a constant, unavoidable topic at dinner tables and in political debates. This unassuming car forced engineers across the industry to completely rethink everything they knew about automotive design. Batteries, once relegated to an afterthought in the trunk, became prime real estate, integrated seamlessly into the car's structure. Aerodynamics, previously a secondary concern, transformed into a primary styling department driver, shaping every curve and angle for maximum efficiency. And regenerative braking. It turned the frustrating stop-and-go traffic of urban commutes into a source of free, usable electricity, a perpetual motion machine in miniature. Fast forward to today, and we're talking about 25 million hybrids on the road, and even the most exotic supercars now whisper through city streets on electrons first, only unleashing their thunderous pistons when absolutely necessary. The Prius didn't just save gas, it ignited a quiet revolution, proving that efficiency could be cool and fundamentally altering our perception of what a car could and should be. Number 5. Bugatti Veyron, 2005. Imagine this. Volkswagen, a company known for practical, sensible cars, basically posed a wonderfully absurd question to its engineers. What, they asked, would happen if we gave an engine 16 cylinders, strapped on 4 massive turbochargers, and then gave you a research and development budget bigger than the entire GDP of a small island nation? The answer, dear friends, was the Bugatti Veyron. The result, an absolutely mind-bending top speed of 253 miles per hour, a staggering, almost unbelievable 1,000 horsepower, or rather 1,001 PS to be exact, and tires that individually cost more than a brand-new Honda Civic. This wasn't just a car, it was a declaration of automotive supremacy. At full, terrifying tilt, the Veyron devours its massive 26-gallon fuel tank in a mere 12 minutes. So, if you're ever running late for work and decide to unleash its full fury, you might arrive on a flatbed, completely out of gas, but you'll undoubtedly be sporting the widest, most insane grin of your life. The Veyron didn't just push the boundaries of what a supercar could be. It completely reset the goalposts so far back that legendary marques like Ferrari, McLaren, and Porsche had to literally invent a new word, hypercar, just to describe the new tier of performance it had established, simply to play catch-up. It was an engineering marvel, a statement of intent, and a machine that proved that sometimes the only limit is your imagination and a truly colossal budget. For 4. Porsche 911, 1964. Now here's a curious recipe for automotive immortality. Take the engine then, purely out of stubbornness or genius, stick it where the trunk absolutely should be. Then, for good measure, refuse to significantly alter its iconic silhouette for 6 glorious decades, and somehow still manage to sell every single one you build. That, my friends, is either the definition of pure, unadulterated stubbornness, or it's the pinnacle of genius. Porsche, with a knowing wink, simply calls it Tuesday. From its early, charming, air-cooled hum to today's ferocious, turbocharged scream, the Porsche 911 has spent its entire existence teaching physicists and drivers a profound lesson that a rear-weight bias, counterintuitive as it sounds, can actually help you corner faster, provided you treat it with the respect you'd give a sleeping grizzly bear. This isn't just a sports car. It's a living legend with an unparalleled resume. It's conquered the grueling 24 hours of Le Mans, survived the brutal Dakar Rally, and effortlessly handled the daily commute of orthodontists and enthusiasts worldwide. There's a widely held belief, almost a rite of passage, that you buy one at 30, cherish it until 70, and watch it appreciate faster than your 401k. The 911 is more than just a vehicle. It's a timeless icon, a continuous evolution of a brilliant idea, and a testament to unwavering engineering philosophy. Its legend status isn't just cemented, it's etched in the very fabric of automotive history, a testament to the power of consistent, brilliant design and relentless refinement. 3. Range Rover, 1970. Before 1970, the automotive world had a very clear distinction. Luxury meant low-slung, sleek, and fast, designed for the open road. Off-road meant bouncy, beige, and utterly utilitarian, strictly for mud and farm work. These two worlds simply didn't mix. Then the Range Rover arrived, and it completely shattered that paradigm. It ingeniously fused the sumptuous comfort of fine leather interiors with the rugged capability of locking differentials, all wrapped up in one sophisticated package. This was a vehicle that could effortlessly climb a craggy Scottish hillside, perhaps with a tweed-clad owner, without spilling a single drop of champagne from the picnic basket. Its designers achieved a masterful balance, making it classy enough to park outside Harrods in London, yet simultaneously tough enough to embark on a challenging camel trek across the scorching Sahara Desert. The Range Rover didn't just create a new vehicle, it created an entirely new market segment, the luxury SUV. Every single premium SUV on sale today, from the opulent Bentley Bentayga to the majestic Rolls-Royce Cullinan, rides on the foundational blueprint laid down by that original, elegant two-door classic. It wasn't just a car, it created an entire aspirational lifestyle brochure filled with images of sophisticated skiing holidays, glamorous yachting adventures, and impeccably chic safaris. The Range Rover didn't just transport, it transformed, defining luxury, capability, and aspiration for generations to come. The T2 Volkswagen Beetle, 1938. Here's a truly fascinating paradox of history. A distinctive, almost whimsical shape, originally doodled by an Austrian dictator's pet engineer, somehow transformed into the ultimate flower power ambassador for an entire generation. The Volkswagen Beetle, with its idiosyncratic air-cooled boxer engine, clattered along like a tin full of marbles, yet it possessed an almost supernatural refusal to die. It was cheap to buy, even cheaper to fix, often with nothing more than a wrench and a bit of ingenuity. And legend has it, it could even float across a river if a group of resourceful college kids needed it to. The Beetle wasn't just a car, it was a cultural phenomenon, a symbol of resilience and counterculture cool. By 2003, Volkswagen had built an astonishing more than 21 million examples, making it the best-selling single-platform vehicle ever created. Forget mere nostalgia. The Beetle proved unequivocally that character, charm, and sheer dependability could outrun fleeting fashion trends. It demonstrated that sometimes the underdog isn't just a contender, it's the undisputed champion, the beloved companion, the car that truly connected with people on a deeper level. The Beetle's legacy isn't just about sales numbers, it's about embodying a spirit of freedom, affordability, and enduring design that continues to capture hearts worldwide. Number 1. Ford Model T, 1908. And now, for the single most important car ever built, the one that truly changed everything, the Ford Model T. This wasn't just a vehicle, it was the machine that utterly transformed the very concept of an automobile from an exclusive millionaire's toy into an absolute necessity for the everyman. Before the Model T, cars were largely hand-built curiosities, expensive and bespoke. Henry Ford, a visionary with an almost obsessive dedication to efficiency, introduced the moving assembly line, a revolutionary concept that slashed production time for a single car from a painstaking 12 hours down to an astonishing 93 minutes. This innovation wasn't just about speed, it was about accessibility. The price of the Model T plummeted, making car ownership a realistic dream for millions. And in another stroke of genius, Ford famously doubled his factory workers' wages to $5 a day, enabling them to afford the very cars they were building. Suddenly, factory workers could buy what they produced, creating a burgeoning middle class and a new consumer culture. By 1927, an incredible 15 million Model Ts had rolled off the assembly line, fundamentally reshaping cities, sparking the growth of suburbs, and yes, inadvertently inventing the traffic jam as we know it. If your ancestors moved more than 20 miles from their birthplace, Odds are, a trusty Tin Lizzie played a crucial role in their journey. Every other incredible machine on this list, every innovation, every design breakthrough, every record broken, they are, in many ways, footnotes to the single seismic shift initiated by the Ford Model T. It wasn't just a car, it was the engine of modern society itself. All right, take a quick breath, and maybe pause that outrage keyboard for just 2 seconds. Now, if any of these 10 absolute legends stole your heart, if they sparked a memory or ignited a passion, please smash that like button. Seriously, it helps us know what you love. And here's the fun part. Tell me below, in the comments, which automotive legend I absolutely should have squeezed in at number 11. Because we both know deep down that these top 10 lists are really just perfectly crafted fuel for friendly, passionate fights among enthusiasts. So let's hear it. From a simple, riveted box designed to farm at dawn, to a 16-cylinder bullet engineered to empty gas stations at dusk, these 10 extraordinary cars didn't just transport us from point A to point B. Oh no, they did so much more. They fundamentally transformed us. They gifted us speed we hadn't quite earned yet, bestowed upon us a sense of luxury we could barely describe, and perhaps most importantly, offered a taste of freedom that we still, to this day, can't truly measure. History, you see, isn't always written in dusty textbooks or grand political manifestos. Sometimes, often, it's indelibly etched in tire marks on forgotten roads, in the roar of an engine, or the gleam of a perfectly sculpted fender. So, the next time you slide behind a steering wheel, take a moment. Remember, somewhere within that machine, whether it's brand new or a timeless classic, there's a little piece of legend, a whisper of innovation, just waiting for the open road to remind you of its incredible story. Subscribe for more deep dives into the machines that move us, and I'll see you at the next countdown. Until then, keep the rubber side historic.